One thing about investing is there are various ways in which individuals can invest their money, their time, their resources, and they can end up being successful. That's why today I'm going up to discuss about who are the 8 individuals who should not invest in stocks. If you are among these people, you should not invest in stocks and you should consider alternative investment opportunities, whether it's in the real estate, whether it is in the doing business as an entrepreneur. You should consider those investments opportunities instead of you going to stock market investing. So number one, individuals who should not be investing in the stock market are those individuals who have short-term mindset oriented. Why am I saying this? The stock market is not a get rich quick scheme. So if you are of that mindset that you will invest your own money in the stock market and within a week or 1 year you are wealthy, then you are preparing yourself for failure. You are going to be disappointed in the stock market because the stock market will teach you a hard lesson. You may end up losing your money and go outside there cursing the stock market that it's a kind of a rich get quick scheme, it's kind of a lie. But in the real sense, individuals who enter in the stock market with that mindset are the ones who end up being crushed. So, if you are one of those individuals who want to enter into the stock market to get rich quick and retire, then you should not invest in the stock market. You should look for other alternative investments opportunities which will enable you to be successful so fast as such. Other individuals who should not invest in the stock market are those individuals who are not studious, those individuals who don't want to get up to date information, those individuals who don't want to update their skills, their lessons. Those are the individuals who should not invest in the stock market. There are things which we can learn from those individuals who have already made it in the stock market. And among those two individuals is Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger. For those individuals who have read their biographies, they do understand that Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, they are studious individuals. They update themselves each and every day. They study philosophy, they study the stock market, they study the news. They are individuals who don't want to rely on old information because they want to see things on how they are supposed to be handled from different perspectives. They don't rely on that information which they already know. They study how great investors have done it, and they are also one of those great investors because we are learning from them. So if you are one of those individuals who doesn't like to study, then the stock market should not be a place for you to invest in. Another character trait which individuals who have this character trait should not invest in the stock market are those individuals who are indisciplined. So why is discipline so important in the stock market? Discipline will kind of shield you from making poor judgment, from making stupid mistakes. And once you have discipline in place, then it will assist you in making good choices. You can have good choices on when you need to sell, on when you need to buy, and you can keep calm when other individuals are going mad. So discipline is one of the most important character trait which investors who are interested to go into the stock market should always have in place. So if you are one of those individuals who discipline is not one of the character trait which you possess as an individual, then you should look for other alternative opportunities which do not consider discipline as one of the important things which we need to have. But at the end of the day, in everyday activity which we carry out in our lives, discipline is one of the important factors which you should have. So if you don't have discipline, then probably the rest of your life you are going to incur a lot of challenges. Another thing which, if you are this kind of a person, you should not invest in the stock market if you are a spender. So there is kind of a quote which goes around saying that a penny saved is kind of two pennies at hand, whatever. I don't recall exactly. But why is saving so important? If you are one of those individuals who have cash, who always have surplus, you are in a good position to seize opportunities when they come across. And this normally happens in the stock market. There comes opportunities where given companies are selling below at a cheaper price. And if you have savings, if you have cash flow, if you have extra money which you can pour into the stock market, then you are in a position to seize that opportunity, and it's going to reward you appropriately. So if you are a spender, you don't have any savings, then there is no need for you going to the stock market, because you may end up saving you may end up investing your money which you can use for emergency in the stock market. And when that emergency occurs, you may be stuck because the money you have already invested in the stock market, and maybe it may be below what you put those shares for. So if you are a big spender, don't try investing in the stock market. Prepare yourself, do some savings, then you may now consider going into the stock market. Another thing which you need to consider before going into the stock market: you should not be a big mainstream fanatic. So listening to the mainstream media each and every day will make you go crazy. So if you are one of those individuals who the mainstream media is where you acquire a source of information, is where you acquire your ideas on how you should do your investments, then the stock market should not be a good place for you for an individual, because it may enable you to sell stocks which you are not supposed to sell and end up buying stocks which are already heading to zero. So if you are a big person who is majorly influenced by the mainstream media, by other social media influencers, you are not in a position to make your own independent decisions, then investing in the stock market should not be a good alternative for you. You should consider other good investment opportunities. Also, if you have a poor temperament, you should not consider investing in the stock market. It is so dangerous for you to consider investing in the stock market when your temperament is so pathetic. And what do I mean by having a poor temperament? Is when you are so kind of afraid when your stock portfolio reduces almost into a half. I may not say the exact quote by Warren Buffett, but there's kind of a quote which goes on saying that Warren Buffett said that if you can't fathom you watching your own portfolio reducing to a half, then you should not consider investing in the stock market. So if you remain sane, if you remain rational when the stock market is misbehaving, when it is going chaotic, then you are the person who should be considering investing in the stock market. But if you get excited when the stocks go up, you go crazy when the stocks go down, then investing in the stock market should not be your priority. You should consider other investment opportunities which may probably suit you well instead of you going to the stock market. Another thing which you should have an individual, which if you have as an individual, you should not consider investing in the stock market. If you are not passionate about your investments, then you should not consider going into the stock market. By being so passionate on the stocks which you have bought, by trying to understand what these companies which you have bought are doing, then you are in a good position to make sound judgment considering the investment which you have in place. But if you are that person who is not passionate about the companies which you have bought, you don't care on how they are doing, then you will end up being disappointed as an individual who want to make a fortune out of the stock market. So those individuals who want to learn, who want to know more about stocks, who want to understand how investment opportunities can be realized, who want to understand on how long-term investing does, on how the fundamentals of stocks work, then those are the individuals who should be interested or who should go ahead and invest in the stock market. But if you are one of those individuals who understanding stocks, who getting interested into stocks is a burden, that you want to get the information from the mainstream media on how you should go and invest, then the stock market should not be a place for you. Finally, but not the least, is you should be honest when trying to invest in the stock market. Why am I saying this? There is no kind of an area in your life where you are going to succeed for a long time if you are not honest. And that's exactly right with the stock market. You need to be honest with yourself on some of the investments which you are going to make. You are going to make you are going to be honest with yourselves and not be passionate or also attached to given stocks when they are not doing well. You should also be honest when dealing with those individuals, more especially if you want to invest for other individuals. You should be honest on how you are dealing with their own resources, because at the end of the day, once you break that trust, once you gain distrust from those associates who you are investing their own money, then you are not going to have more individuals coming to you to seek for advice to invest on their behalf. So honesty is one of the pillars which you as an individual want to invest in the stock market should have. So those are the 8 things. Those are the 8 people who should not invest in the stock market. And if you are one of those individuals, comment below. Can you do something about these character traits or these behaviors? And where do you see yourself in terms of investing? Thanks for watching. My name is Monsieur Magustin. If you have found some benefits out of this video, just like, subscribe, share, and probably comment below what would you like to see me discuss next. Thanks for watching. See you in my next one.